All right, let's get that leg down. We got A, C.
This is Joshua Greiner. He's 21 years old, autistic, and non-speaking. It wasn't until he was 13 years old that he started using spelling methods to communicate, where he points to letters on a letterboard or a typing device. Prior to that, he had no viable way to communicate. For this story, I asked Joshua what his preferred voice is, and he said his automated voice, although he prefers the letterboard because it's less laborious. And because it takes a long time for Joshua to construct sentences, I left him with questions to answer in his own time.
Accuracy. Yeah. Requires as too much accuracy.
I really thought when he first was able to communicate that it'd be a lot of, oh, I love you, Mom, and thank you, Mom. But he has lots of other things to say, too.
M.
Yeah.
S. Mama.
It's doing the autocorrect, and so that's why it's got screwed up. Is it better than... Especially at the beginning, it was a lot of hard things to hear. Him being bullied in school, or just his frustration of being in the body and going through so many years of trauma, you know, nobody, not even me, understanding. You know, you just think about the level of frustration that would build up, you know, year after years. All right, you want to use the letterboard or you want to use the keyboard? It used to be just a total guessing game of, you know, if he's screaming or if he, you know, seems to be clearly in distress. Is it a physical thing? Is he hungry? Is he thirsty? Is he not happy about something? You're just solely judging the outside body and trying to, you know, figure out what it is.
I started spelling with rapid prompting method when I was 13. I loved it, but I felt I needed physical support to feel my body in space.
Joshua also has apraxia, which is the loss of ability to execute or carry out skilled movements and gestures, despite having the physical ability and desire to perform them. It results from the dysfunction of the cerebral hemispheres of your brain, which is involved with movement, coordination, and processing sensations such as taste, hearing, and touch.
Really stripping things back down to a motor basic level is really helpful in communication with apraxic bodies because of that disconnect. So that's why you'll hear like some different verbal commands of putting your feet to the ground or just giving the mind extra input to connect with the body and coordinate those movements and patterns.
Up, up. Use those abs.
With the spelling, that pushback is giving the body proprioception feedback so it knows where it's at in space.
Before spelling, life was quite upsetting. People thought wrongly that I was without intelligence, without emotions. I was treated like I didn't understand anything by everyone, even my favorite person, my mom. I tried everything to reach her. Not having a voice is terrifying. I used to try to use toys that talk. Mom thought it was a coincidence. Picture exchange cards was impossible. It worked for requests only. Sign language was too hard for my apraxic body. The communication device was too slow and too difficult to remember pathways. I also use YouTube videos to tell people the things I want or feel. I've done that for many years, and my mom finally understood.
That's right. It was hopeless. It's all right. It's all right. You're good. You're good. When he was 18, we saw someone at a conference where someone was pushing back on their arm. So we tried it, and that really opened up so much for him. And I just push against his arm. I'm not leading his arm to anything. I'm pushing against it so he can feel where his body is in space. It's sad even once when we had started when he was 13 and he wasn't able to really demonstrate too much of what he was able to do. But the schools were, you know, definitely not open to it at all. So we homeschooled the last 7 or 8 years, bring him up to speed on all the academics that he missed out on.
Spelling methods are viewed by some as controversial because they say the facilitator bias cannot be ruled out. And because of this, schools have yet to accept it as a legitimate form of communication.
Just all points back to presuming competence and, believing there's a real person in there that has just the same feelings and thoughts as you do, and being open to it and engaging with them. If you think this is BS, come to our house and talk with us. We'd be happy to talk with you. All right, correct.
There are common factors that influence physical, mental, and emotional health.
He had reflux, which we didn't realize, but he was able to explain the symptoms of it. And he had, still struggles with depression, but it's something that we can talk about now, because just judging from the outside, you would have no way of knowing. We used to go places, we'd go to the park, and he would just start screaming, and we would think, okay, he really hates this. See, we shouldn't have come here. Let's, go home. And now we know when he's screaming or he seems upset, it's really that he's really excited about something, or he's feeling proud about something. And so being able to ask is just, night and day. Now he writes his poetry, which is just like another avenue into the world, and it's brought so many new people into our lives.
Let me ask the library staff about it. And this is Josh's poem. This is called Monument to My Life. Tree like living mountain, monument to my life, living with my ancestors, looking over all of us, pews in the sand getting light, filtered, pure light. Sounds regal, pretty for me. Restful tree, topping our real true light, earned by struggles. Pews in the sand, listen into the trees with love. July day, I hope, to escape your heat in my church. Such a beautiful poem.
I treasure time when my poetry is heard by other people. Poetry puts me into the world. It connects me. I will love to try teaching autistics. Will help to heal their pain from being stuck in a body that is under its own power. To free their voices.
I love you, E-U-D-D-Y. I love you, buddy.
No, the speech therapists are Unfortunately, autistic people, they're just solely judged on the outside of their body. They don't have a chance to explain their story. It's just assumed that it's because they don't understand. They don't have empathy. That's why their bodies might lash out.
This next poem is one that had a really big impact on me. The intro to this is a little description to all the poems about Janua. The Janua is a name I give to my wild, uncontrollable body. We're the two sides, Joshua on the inside, Janua is the outside. It is to help other people understand that I'm in here. Janua hits, but I love. Janua scratches, shouts, screams. He's not me. He loves no one. He just hurts everyone, upsetting, using my body to hurt. Janua sucks. Greedily wrecking everything. Janua knows how to make my body move better than I do.
People with autism, they deserve to be given the kindness of people just like everyone else. It is important to remember that we are intelligent and we understand everything. I look to my future purely with excitement. To independently live.